stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me. I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me. I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one.
What
All
is
right.
up, UTLR Live? Welcome on in to the studios here this evening for the best show on earth, and that is the UTLR Xfinity Series. Here with the Goodies Jewel 125 here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Short Track Challenge season finale. Short Track Challenge finale, sorry, rewording. Um, it's going to be the last of the 4 race stretch that we've been dealing with for the last few weeks of the short track challenge. These 4 guys have been going at it, and we're going to get right into it a little bit later on here in the pre-race. But I am not alone tonight. Welcome you to the booth for another pop-in tonight. We're going to have UTLR Kenny right next to me. Kenny, what's going on, my man?
Oh, it's going good, Alex. How you doing tonight, bud?
I'm exhausted, but I'm here. So, road trip
I feel that. I
road trips
feel
are not
that.
fun, but road trip today, and we're back home and we're back live. I'm ready for tonight.
Absolutely. The dynamic duo is back at it again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Last
So
time we were uh last time we were in the booth with you, Alex, we had a heck of a show at, what was it, Daytona?
uh
Yeah, I think that was the last time I was here. Was
I,
Daytona for the Xfinity series.
I believe so.
So, and the Xfinity guys, they put on a great show then. In my opinion, they're the top of the class right now for the ETLR series.
And they
As
really
in
are.
as in racing term, I mean, they seem to just provide the best racing, the best, competition all around, and it's it's such a the racing is so much cleaner in the Xfinity series, in my opinion. They get a lot more green flag runs. You don't have to worry about that massive pile up in the third stage that always comes in the Cup Series. So, hats off to the Xfinity guys. They really have stepped up the game and really are showing out as the top class of UTLR this season.
Oh, without a doubt. And I've been extremely grateful to be able to commentate them this entire season after myself not really being that much of a commentator and having to step into this role for the season. Said, you know what? they deserve to get broadcasted. All three series does, and we don't have a broadcaster for all three series. So I said, you know what? Let me hop in and let me take the reins. I've been working with Ian a little bit, and he helped me out, kind of get my foot in the door. And I think I've excelled better than what I started off as for commentating. And I've enjoyed the Xfinity series since Daytona for the Daytona 250 or the 125. So I've been very grateful to watch them. Of course, the trucks are doing amazing as well. Hats off to them. It's been a great show over there. But the Xfinity series just has a special place in my heart. It's been awesome.
Yeah,
We've seen
they
so many
absolutely
battles
do.
back and forth all season long. And then the storyline, of course, all season long has been Dusty trying to get his first career win, has fallen short many a times. And then you got these new guys coming in. Black Hammer here recently. You got HD now trying to get into the playoffs. I mean, it's just opened up the doors so
Hmm.
much.
Well, and I'd like to give a tip of the hat to the F2 guys. I got to see some of their race at Coda last week, and let me tell you something. That was a very, very well done race for open wheel on that road course. So, tip of the hat to the F2 guys, and kind of looking back at the lineup. You got, like you said, Dusty Stud, man. What you can't say Dusty's name without mentioning something about fuel strategy. I mean, he has not had the best of luck with fuel strategy races all season, coming up just short. Kind of like Chick Hicks, man. He's just coming up short every time. He thinks it's his day, man,
He
and he just
does.
comes up short every time.
And I hate it because Dusty, he is like the top of the class. He's leading the points, and he's got it pretty much secured for the regular season championship. And I was talking to him last week, and he was talking to me about uh, how the playoffs are going to operate. Like he knew how they operated here, but we were just discussing like what is it going to take because he knows with as stout as the competition is here in the Xfinity Series, there's like he can have the regular season championship, but the playoffs he's almost got to start winning, and that's where he doesn't have a win yet. So with the
Yeah,
stout
that is
competition,
crazy. That
he's got
you
to
know he's
win almost.
he's leading the regular season points, but he has no wins, but he's still leading the points. That's
Yep,
crazy in my mind, dude. Like that's
he's one. I mean, he's in the
I've
top
never
three,
seen
top three, top
I've
four
never
in the
seen
playoff grid, and he's still not locked in. He's in between
exactly.
two or three guys that like it's weird. You see the playoff grid and you see a green highlighted driver saying they're locked in, and then you see Dusty who's in second place because he's got playoff points, so he's in and everything, but he's not highlighted as locked in. And then you got people below him that are locked in as well, just have less playoff points. So it's odd seeing a guy in the mix that's not even locked in.
It's honestly weird, and I don't think I've ever seen a champion be crowned that has never won a race. Like you said, Alex, it has to be done. He has to find that. He has to get over that threshold. He's got to find the magic formula to put it together, or else he's going to struggle in the playoffs with this new format. The way they're having to go, the round of 8, the round of 6, and then obviously the inevitable round of 4. And you and I both know that that round of 4 is going to be the most intense round of 4 there is, because it's not your typical round of 4, if I remember correctly. Following our Cup Series last year, all 3 series will follow the same playoff format, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we look ahead, and if you're not used to how the UTR playoffs go, it's typical like it is in real life, but we have a different format for the Final Four. It's not Final Four one race. It's at each track style. We have our super speedway, we have our cookie cutter mile and a half, we have our short track, and we have our road course. So that every driver gets their opportunity to shine at their best. It may not be their best track, but their best overall figurine, like SP in road courses. You get guys like Denny or Drake or Mole at like the super speedways, and then you have pretty much like Mole and Tomato at the mile and a halves. So it's just a whole lot of guessing. And this year for the Xfinity Series, the Final Four heads to Canadian Tire. They're going to open up with the road course at Canadian Tire. Then they go to Bristol for the short track. Or wait, no, sorry, my bad. Final Four. Atlanta is starting off. My bad. Atlanta is the mile and a half track starting off the Final Four. Then to Canadian Tire with the road course. Then to Bristol with the short track, and then we end it at Talladega.
Yeah, and then going into your Cup Final Four, Alex, you go Bristol, you go Homestead, you go Road America, Homestead, Bristol, and then the final race at Talladega. Who put Talladega as the final race? Because that's just going to be a toss up. That's going to be a huge toss up. Not to mention the fact that going to the shortest track on the circuit, Bristol Motor Speedway. I mean, the last great Coliseum. It's going to be a headbanger. I guarantee it. But however, I will say the difference makers is going to be both the Road America road course and the Homestead Oval,
Mm-hmm.
because we've already hit the Oval this year, which was, by the way, a phenomenal race. I had the pleasure to be a part of. That was an awesome race. However, I don't know. I think the final four, it's going to really determine, you know, it's gonna be a crapshoot. I think, if you want my honest opinion, with those final four races.
Well, and as we take a look at the Xfinity Series playoff grid, as of right now, uh, you have SP who will be starting out in front with 2014 points on the reset. Flash will be starting second with 2012 points, and those who are locked in. Then you have Dusty in third, who's not locked in at 2010 points. You got LRS in fourth with 2007, who is locked in. And then the remaining are not locked in. You get fifth at Deport, sixth at Drake, seventh, Lowbroke, and eighth is Mr. J. And Lowbroke and Mr. J will be starting out below the cut line as only 8 drivers make the Xfinity Series field.
Yeah, a four-way tie. Two of those guys are in, two of those guys are out. So it's gonna be real interesting to see how that shakes out when the playoffs start.
Yeah, and a few of the
Is
drivers outside looking in, or the main three that are outside looking in are Ham Wallet, Denny, and HD.
I got my money on Ham Wallet. I think Ham Wallet is gonna I think he's gonna have a good run tonight. Ham Wallet. I had the pleasure to sub for him for a couple of weeks in Xfinity a few weeks ago, and we were able to pull him closer to that cut line. And he did a really good job the next couple of weeks. Now, kind of teeter-tottering on the edge of being in and being out. So he really needs a good run tonight. Got to get those stage points if you really want the advantage on getting into the playoffs this weekend.
Well, and I'm glad that you mentioned him because also highlighting him into the short track challenge. Tonight's the regular season or the challenge finale.
Finale,
So
right?
we get the shortest track of all short tracks, and we end it in the last great Coliseum. You've got Lowbroke, Mr. J, R. Denny, and Ham Wallets are the 4 drivers that were eligible for the short track challenge. And right now, Lowbroke is entering Bristol with the highest average finish, which is the rule. Driver with the highest average finish across these 4 races comes out with 10 bonus points and 15 playoff points if they are able to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah,
And you have Lowbroke entering in at 7.33 average. You've got Mr. J off his 5th place finish last week. He is now up to an 8.33, very close to Lowbroke. And then you get Ham Wallet and Denny, who are tied at a 10.33 average.
yeah, Alex. But you and I both know all it takes is one bad night to ruin the average. So this would be the place it's going to happen.
It is.
Absolutely, the place it will happen because kind of. Let's take a look at Bristol itself, man. I mean, the smallest track on the circuit. I don't know exactly the dimensions of it. I believe it's a half-mile
Yeah,
speedway or a quarter mile.
half mile.
Half-mile speedway, high banks, high bank corners, half mile. I mean, and it's fast. It is freaking fast around that track. So it's going to take a lot of car control and a lot of patience to be able to make passes tonight. The top groove can work, but you're going to have to be patient and you're going to have to get the car to set up perfectly to run the outside and avoid brushing the fence off the corner of the exit.
Yeah, and that corner exit is going to be the hardest point. And then also you get guys who get loose on the bottom or connect with the bottom and end up cutting up the track just because they hit the apron there with the banking transition. I have not seen in this league yet. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I have yet to see green flag pit stops at Bristol. But
Unfortunately, no. It's kind of unheard of at Bristol. I mean,
it
even in the
is.
Cup Series, it's just such tight quarter racing. It's hard to get away from people at this track. You don't have the advantage of the draft. You don't have the advantage of having the better setup. All you could really afford to do is just keep your nose clean.
Yeah, and you do have to rely on just keeping nose clean, especially. And I would like to see. I think if anybody can do it, it is the Xfinity Series. I've got faith in Truck Series, but I believe more or less the Xfinity Series. If anybody can do it, it is them for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. I believe if anybody could have green flag pit stops, it would be Xfinity. I just think it's going to be tough with the number of cars starting tonight. 17 total. 17 of the baddest Xfinity drivers we've seen come across the UTLR stage. I mean, and you got to look through the field, man. You got to look who's starting where. You got Dusty Stud on the pole. You got Flash coming off a couple of wins, starting middle of the pack in seventh. You got the guy returning, Bad News Ducky, and we all know how good Ducky is, and he's starting P10 tonight. And
Yeah,
then SP and Drake, they're starting towards the back of the field. So it's just gonna be who can gain the most on track and who can gain the most in the pits. So it's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of strategies involving track position tonight, I think. So we may see some guys take 2 tire stops, and we may see guys take no tires. It just depends what we see tonight as the field goes on.
yeah, and we're going 150 laps tonight, which is equal up to 79 miles. And just kind of taking you through the lineup as a whole, you got Dusty, like we mentioned, on the pole. Meso, who is making his third or fourth start this season. He's completed the Project 27, and he's been able to take over the reins of a 7 car in the Xfinity Series. So he's starting second with an incredible time of 15.944. Only 2 drivers were able to click into the 15-second bracket in qualifying, and it
Hmm.
was Dusty and Meso. So hats off to them. You get Deport
Yeah,
in
and then
third. Oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry, I was just gonna say,
No,
yeah,
no,
and
go.
then you moving on to row two, you got Deport with the 16:02. I mean, the first guy to hit the lowest 16, O time at a 16:02. Behind him, Lodbrok with a 16:031,
Yeah, and then you get
starting P4.
then you get Hamwall in the next row. You got Hamwall on the inside, uh, and then you have INF, who was actually on standby to broadcast tonight, and thankfully he was able. I was able to get back in time, and he is in the race, starting in the sixth position.
Well, and then moving on to inside row number four, you got Flash Champs, the only Ford in the top 10 with a 16:02 or 16:062. Flash coming off a couple of wins, looking to make another one here at the shortest track on the circuit. And to his outside, it's going to be Dr. Clater in the number 39 with the 16:072. Bunch of Chevys in the top 10, Alex.
Yeah, and another Chevy rounding out in the next row is LRS in the number 1 Chevrolet. Look for him to make a good run tonight. And then, like we mentioned before, Bad News Ducky, his hometown track, his best track that he enjoys in the 19 car, making off the 10th position tonight.
Yeah, moving on to row number six on the inside. This dude got him a top three finish at Kansas in the cuts last night, qualifying with a 16:1 flat. It's HD Morton in the '07. Who's outside. It's SP in the 44 with a 16:114.
Yeah, and then you got Mr. J on the inside, and then you get to the outside of Blackhammer, who likes this track and he likes the short tracks. This has been his best. Has been all the short tracks, but he is actually starting deep in the field in that 14th position. So look for him to try to make a late run.
Now moving on to your eighth and final row with your final starters. You've got Art Denny with a 16:248. The only Ford outside of the top 10s, the only 2 Ford drivers competing tonight, with your your fourth Toyota driver. That is Drake in the 54, qualifying with a 16:259. And rounding out your field, another bow tie driver, a Chevy driver in the six with a 16:517. That is Toby Welsh in the number 78, rounding out your 17 car field.
Yeah, and I want to hint on Toby. He actually tried last week making his Xfinity Series start debut. As he's been competing in the Truck Series this whole season. One try out the Xfinity Series and trying out the lower series before moving up. So he wanted to get established, but he wasn't able to actually get into the race last week on time. So he lagged out right at the start. So he's gonna be trying to get his first laps in Xfinity car in a league race. So look forward to him seeing him and see what he can do in the 17 car field. And like you mentioned, Flash, back to back wins, trying to make it 3 in a row. And I kind of feel bad 'cause I don't want to like knock on wood, but Ducky has not been here the last 2 weeks, nowhere in sight. And then here comes Flash winning the last 2 weeks, uh, and Ducky's like, you know what, I'm not going to be here tonight. And then there goes Flash winning. And well, the next week he's like, hey, I'm going to be there. And then he doesn't show up, and then Flash wins. Uh, and that was following his first win was following the week said Ducky told him, you're gonna win next week. And next thing we know, he's been winning. But now Ducky's here tonight in the race. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe bad news.
Ducky.
Ducky lives up to his name.
Yeah, yeah. He's definitely been the bearer of bad news for a lot of guys. You know, Ducky usually makes his charge towards the beginning of stage three. Probably won't see him towards the front much in the first stage. Might see him dance around the top three in the second stage, but I think Ducky's going to make his final charge in the final stage when it matters the most.
Well, and like I said, Low broke starting fourth. He's the highest average finish driver, uh, and he's the highest starting driver in the short track challenge. Uh, he has actually talked to me before that Bristol is one of his better tracks. However, we'll see how it gets up and going as we should be getting the invite. They just loaded in, so we should be getting an invite just momentarily for this race.
All right. Well, and Alex, kind of looking at your little template that you made for us, your little sheet we've got here. 150 laps, 79 miles, 0.533 miles, a half mile located in Bristol, Tennessee, the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Some of the greatest guys have won here, and there's been so many crown jewel races that have happened here, including the Food City 500 and the inaugural Bristol Dirt Nationals. Unfortunately, not happening this year, but it was awesome to see in person, on TV, watching the race live. Glad they did it. Glad they got it out of their system. Now they can focus on what they need to focus on with these Cup cars. And, it's going to be a great night. Race 17 of 23. Playoffs are coming up, man. This is the time for them to make their final charge. And honestly, it's fixing to get buck wild around here.
Yeah, I mean, playoffs start up at Mid-Ohio on May 16th, just about 2 months away. So it's going to be cracking down to the wire. Xfinity Series is about to have, after the Short Track Challenge, they will go to Charlotte Roval and Homestead Roval. So we're going to our road course back-to-back weeks. And then we take a break from road course. We go to Dover. Then we go back to another road course at Sonoma. So 3 road courses in 4 weeks. After a grueling demand of a short track challenge of 4 weeks of short track racing action, we take to the road courses with a break and then another road course. Insanity type of schedule. Then we finally calm down. After that, we go to Gateway, and then, lo and behold, we got Talladega for double points. So these last few races are really intense for these drivers.
Yeah, the double points race for Xfinity, or for the Cup Series at Pocono, was really intense. So I can only imagine the double points race for these guys at Talladega is going to be even more intense.
Well, we'll see them getting ready to take the green flag this time by. You did get the invite, right?
Yeah, I did. I'm in. You want me to do the call?
You sure can.
All right. UTLR, we got them racked. We got them stacked. The grandstand is absolutely packed. It is time to boot, scoot, and boogie off at turn number 4 at the line. Here we go. Green flag.
Out to an early lead jump. Dusty got it. Meso in second, followed by Beefport in third as they single file out.
Yeah, Dusty Stud in that blue and black and red car is leading the way for lap number 1. Meso in the 7 behind him, holding on to that second spot. Kind of going back to the field onto HD Morton, battling with the 19 of Ducky further back in the field. Ducky on the outside, Morton on the bottom side. Morton looking to the inside, trying to get the run down into the corner, but Ducky's going to get the high side run down into 1 and 2.
Yeah, like you mentioned before, that high side can get up and going, but who's going to use it to their advantage? Because we're going to see a lot of people probably use the inside early on. But as tires wear out, you're going to be wanting to use that high side to conserve the tire. See Hamwatt making his move all the way up ahead of Ducky. Ducky looks to the outside of him.
Whoa, looks like a little bit of contact. And Wallet, look at that beautiful ally scheme he's got going right there.
Nah, I really like that car. He's ran it for a couple weeks now. That matte black, oh my god.
You just can't go wrong with pink and black. It's a great color combo.
It really is. So in stage number 1, we got 35 laps to go. They'll be coming to 34 this time.
Battle picking up between INF, and it looks like the
Low broke.
number 20 of Load Broke on the bottom side. 3 cars dance for third as they go down into, I believe that's 3 and 4. You got Deport Eddie, almost 3 wide off of turn 4, coming to the line. Eddie climbs up to the top side, Load Broke hanging on to the bottom, and INF, and who's this trying to get his name in the mix? It's the one of LRS. Down into the corner they go. Load Broke still rolling the bottom side. Here comes Flash in the 22 trying to make something happen.
Yeah, Flash said, you know what, let me have a taste of this party action, he kind of thinks better of it. Little contact between INF and Low Broke off of 4. Low Broke really tried to battle hard and make that inside, but INF knows that he can get the outside rolling and cooking. It's only going to allow Flash to now get to the inside of LRS here. And who is this also trying to make an appearance behind Flash? That, I believe... I'm trying to see who that is.
The number 39.
That's Big Clater. Yep, Dr. Clater in the house.
Dr. Clater trying to crack in the top 10 right here.
This is a really good battle between about these 6 or 7 drivers. This is all
Yeah,
for the
now
third
INF,
place.
INF battling it out with Deport Eddie for the third spot. INF kind of with the half sliders. We got one stopped on the bottom side of one of the corners. Luckily, I think it was ghosted, so did not affect the racing, but looks like we already have one on pit road.
Yeah, Toby Welsh was the slow car down low, making his Xfinity Series debut. And you are right, we have one in the pits. It's not him. As Ham Wallet making a pit stop early.
Must have had some damage or something. It looks like the rear end of that car is really messed up off of our screen right here. Oh, and he gets caught. He gets caught in the back stretch.
Oh.
He tried to gas it up and get out, but he got caught on the commitment line, and it yanked him back down into pit road.
You gotta watch for that secondary pit road there. You gotta get up and out of the way of that commitment line, but you gotta stay off the racetrack in order to blend. It is a tricky challenge, and that's something we haven't seen is people taking green flag pit stops at Bristol. So that's inexperience, honestly, with this group of guys.
And it looks like the caution's out, Alex. Everybody's slowing down. It looks like the yellow flag has been displayed. I don't know what for. I didn't see any wrecks on the racing surface.
I'm not sure. I'll probably hear from race control on that one. Nonetheless, first caution of the night here.
Yeah, first caution. Dusty Stud has led to this point. Most in the 7, followed by INF in 3rd. Deport Eddie in 4th, and I believe Load Broke is running out our top 5 at the moment. On the outside looking in, it's the 22 of Flash, the 1 of LRS, the 39 of Dr. Clater, and I believe the 19 of Ducky will round out your top 10.
Yeah, Ducky with that. This is the first time we've seen a 19 car back on track.
Oh no, excuse me, I believe.
It's suspect.
Yeah, I believe. No, it is. SP has rounded out our top 10 in the number 44 machine. Kind of miscalculated right there, but looks like SP will be your 10th and final top 10 driver. So.
Well, and we'll see how these work. I'm trying to see when they're going to open pit road. I'm gonna guess this lap probably.
I gotta tell you, looking at SP's car, I'm kind of getting some Thomas the Train vibes. can't tell me it's not good. I mean, look at it. I mean, it looks like
Oh,
he's Thomas the Train out on the track,
oh
man.
my God.
Got that petty blue with the blue, white,
The yellow
and the dark,
number.
the yellow number.
Well,
Says he said, full steam ahead. I'm charging through this field like a locomotion on fire.
we'll see what he can do.
I
Honestly,
like it.
I'm surprised that he did not run another SVG because he ran the 97 car last week, uh, and I'm kind of surprised he did not stick with the SVG because I figured he would.
Speaking of SEG, Alex, we've got the new game coming up soon. Do you think SEG is gonna have the opportunity to be in that game too?
I believe so because knowing iRacing, they're going to probably bring out 2025 schedule, 2025 cars and rosters and all that, and
Well, when we got the trailer for it, they said every track and every driver. That leaves a lot to the imagination, does it not?
no, and that's very broad in the spectrum. It's very hard to distinguish what that could mean. Every track, every driver, everything, and it was
Well,
the
knowing
three words. I mean,
and
once you
knowing
add in every driver, every track, and then you add in everything, like what could everything mean?
well, kind of taking a look at their iRacing World of Outlaws game, they have not just the World of Outlaws division. They've got the World of Outlaw sprint cars, the World of Outlaw late models, and then they branched off and they added more classes. They added UMP modifieds, street stocks, uh, pro late models, big block modifieds, 360 sprint cars, 305 sprint cars, midgets. I mean, they added. They've got all these classes, and they keep adding real tracks to their game. It makes me think that the NASCAR iRacing game, we could possibly see some retro race cars, competing because iRacing has all the stuff for the Gen 6, the Gen 7, the Gen 5. They have all the data for it, so I think that we might see some cool stuff in iRacing. And heck, I would even be happy to see some wheeling modifieds come back. That would be awesome to see back in NASCAR racing games.
Yeah, as we're back green for the restart, uh, did get confirmation from the call at headquarters that it was a caution that was called a little 3 laps late that was involved, and no one stopped. So they were able to get slowed down and call the caution a little late on their end of things. But we are back under green with Dusty and Meso, shockingly, making out the top two, and INF and Deport rounding out for third.
Yeah, INF on the inside of Deport Eddie for the third spot. Eddie rolls the outside down into the corner. INF drifts up off the bottom. Eddie slides up, almost gets into the fence. But INF is going to try to charge back to his inside. But Eddie's going to get the run. He's going to crowd INF down into the corner. They make contact. Now here comes the 22 appliances. Toby Welsh is sideways, and it looks like we got one down pit road, as it looks like that's going to bring the caution back out.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure it's
Alex,
probably contact between the 16 and the 78, if I had to guess.
yeah, that's
And
Black
Toby
Hammer
Welsh was,
in the pit.
yeah, Hammer was in the pits on pit road, and then Toby Welsh to the inside there, most likely ghosted, as y'all saw. People just go through him, so he was ghosted on their end of things. Second caution of the night here.
What do we say, Alex? Before this started,
cautions.
what do we? Well, cautions breed cautions, and we have never had green flag pit stops at Bristol.
Yeah, we're only about a little over halfway here in stage number one. Yeah, and I'm honestly surprised. Meso is a newer driver. Like I say, he completed his Project 27, and we had a spot open in Xfinity Series, so he was able to kind of hop in that for some part-time and he could do full time throughout the remainder of the season if he wanted to. And he's really good. He's a talented driver that I've seen in another league, and he's got the full potential. And Bristol is a decent track for him. It's not his best, but he qualified very well. He says his race pace is better than his qualifying pace. But at the same time, I like how he said that whenever he qualified second. So I wonder what that can mean for a race. Like we already see him pretty much been second the entire race so far.
Hmm. Well, I think he's just going to be kind of content with kind of playing cat and mouse right here. He's going to make one move and see what INF, or excuse me, what Dusty Stud does. So I think it's going to be a game of cat and mouse here.
Yeah, and trying to get some information from SP here. A little confusion on the last caution, not this one. A little confusion on the last one, why it came out a little late. So supposedly there was only maybe one car around, and instead of two. And we had drivers calling the caution whenever there really wasn't one. It was just one driver, and that one driver was the one trying to call it. So,
Right.
Back under the green flag, though.
Ooh, and Deeport Eddie gets a good run down to the inside of Mosa in the 7. Mosa hung out to dry on the outside. He now has to make it work. And Eddie has the slight advantage on the bottom, but Mosa going to power back around on the outside. Now Eddie stuck on the bottom side. INF looking to his outside. Down the back straightaway they go. INF, kind of gets his nose cut off a little bit as he goes down into turn 4. Eddie side by side with INF as they come down the front straightaway, down into 1 and 2, 2 by 2 down into 1 and 2 as they compete for the third spot.
Yeah, Clater on the high side, looking back from his view right now, trying to work the high side with Deport, and you see Ducky and Flash. Those two are really good here in Bristol. Keep an eye on those two as they go on later on the run. They're going to be trying to work together to get to the front.
Absolutely. Ducky, one of those ones that I was telling you about earlier, Alex. He's probably going to dance around the top 5 in the first stage, and then we'll really see him dancing around the top 3 in the second stage. But he's going to be one to watch when the checker flag flies, as he's battling it out with Dr. Clater. Clater cracking the top 5 in the number 39.
You know, it's been a few weeks since we've seen or had talks of the Clater. He was dominating for a few races at Daytona. He actually won that race, and then had a good little stretch, but he's kind of fallen off into top 5, maybe a podium here and there, but kind of just falling off pace. So we'll see if he can rack back up into the top 3 and maybe contend for a win later on.
And behind him, battle picking up between the 22 of Flash Champs and the 1 of LRS. It looks like Cam Wallet was off pace on the back straightaway, and it looks like Ducky, and Eddie gets slammed into the outside wall, bunches the field up.
Yeah, now you get...
hang on to it, but now LRS looking to his inside for the 4th spot.
And here comes Flash right behind LRS, and now you have Blackhammer and Drake to the back bumper of Clater and Flash. And now they're all side by side, about 3 rows deep. Has allowed Ducky to move up into the 3rd spot. Oh, sorry, 4th spot. Now battle for 5th between Deport and LRS. LRS able to clear Deport off of the corner entry there.
Alex, take a look who's entered the battle. It's the number 54. That is Drake in the 54. He entered the battle, started towards the back in this race. Now clawing his way towards the front in that number 54 machine.
Yeah, Drake's one of those very subtle guys. He doesn't say a whole lot, he doesn't talk a whole lot, but he sure does come to race. And he's got a really good car, and he just tends to struggle to find the pace that he needs against these guys, because he knows that he can be up here, and he just has bad luck that comes his way every single week. And we see the 16, now a Blackhammer clicking into the picture, up next to Clater for the 6th spot. Maybe 3 wide into turn 3 here.
No, it looks like
a
caution's been thrown. Where was the caution at?
Oh, no, sorry, that was stage. we got caught up and
Oh.
missed the stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Let's see. Who did? Dusty wins the stage. Meso's second. INF third. Ducky fourth. Clater got fifth. Or no, sorry, LRS got fifth. Uh, and I am dumb. Okay, so the 38 car is not uh, Deport Eddie. I have made a mistake on that one because I'm so used to it. Deport is out this week, and Racing Edge is the 38 car for tonight. That's why I get to be on vacation and 3 hours away on a road trip all day.
Oh.
So Edge is substituting for Deport in the 38 machine.
And look at this, Alex. We finally have the first lead change of the night. Mesa in the 7 takes the lead from Dusty Studs down the front straightaway.
We'll see how Dusty responds here. You see LRS now trying to work on Dusty. Guess who's outside there?
Oh, and we got one into the inside wall. The number 44 of SP spun to the inside wall. And unfortunately for him, he was the only one involved in that deal, so I don't see a caution being thrown just yet.
Now we're on lap 3, coming to lap 4 of stage number 2.
Alex, I kind of want to talk about Dusty Stud's stage win. Those stage wins, they're not just worth stage points, but they're also worth playoff points, aren't they?
Yeah, so winning a stage gets you 1 playoff point. And then you get 2 for winning the race. So, which unfortunately he hasn't found, or no, sorry, he gets 5 for winning the race. And he has not found those 5 playoff points for the win, but he has definitely gotten a lot of stage wins this season.
Absolutely.
See one up in the outside wall, that is Edge in the 38.
Yeah, Alex, I'm looking at the playoff bracket right now. With that 1 stage point, that'll put Dusty Stud 1 point closer to Flash Champ in the playoff chase. Dusty Stud with 10 Flash points. Now Dusty has 11. Flash has 12. If Dusty can get another stage point, he will tie Flash for stage point or for playoff points as they go into the final few races.
Yeah, we see Edge back here battling against Denny. Denny kind of getting out of the way for him, realizing that Edge is faster right now and being courteous to him. Edge kind of gave him a little bit of a bumper tap. You see him get to the outside wall.
Oh, and Drake and Lopro taking the gloves off and battling hard. Back further the back of the field.
He's back there with Flash. Flash defending that spot. So one guy, of course, like we said, talked about being really good at short tracks. And he said he'd make his way up through the field. And that's that 16 car up to 7th place of Blackhammer. Working on 6th of Clater. He's up to the 6th spot. Going to try past Ducky as well in that 16 machine.
Oh, Alex, it looks like we got a lead change.
Yep, Mesa on the high
Dusty
side.
Stud. Mesa on the outside, Stud on the bottom side. LRS trying to show his nose. Might think about making it 3 wide.
Yeah, and don't count on INF. INF said he's decent at short tracks, especially Bristol. He's not the best, but he sure sent it in right there on the high side. Able to make it stick, though. He takes away the 3rd spot from LRS, and they're still side by side for the lead.
Stud on the bottom side. Mesa on the outside. Mesa really holding a good line on the outside, giving Dusty plenty of room on the bottom as Mesa tags the outside fence. Dusty, slide job for the lead.
Yeah, and that's all it takes is a little tap of the wall, and tap, tap goes your lead. INF up to 3rd over LRS. And now Mesa's going to have to track Dusty down once again. He cannot let him get away.
The field going single file now, Alex. Looks like all the racing has come and gone. It looks like they're going to stay single file down into the corners.
Yeah, Hammer was able to get by the 19 of, while that lead change was going on, we saw Hammer get by the 19 of Ducky. So now Hammer up into the top 5 here. Get Drake inside the top 10, back there in the 8th position. Get another battle. Hammer trying for a caution will be out.
Looks like two of the backfielders having some problems. Toby Wells spun around on the inside of turns 1 and 2.
These cautions are, with racing going on, it's hard to determine when the caution comes out and all that. And so we apologize for the little delay there, but it is hard to keep up with the wrecks here. They're all in the back and out of our view. So Toby's going to stay out and get a lap back. Plus underneath our 3rd caution of the night.
So Alex, what's the strategy here? We've run a lot of laps on these tires. Obviously, it's a 4-tire stop. Is there any notion for 2-tire stops if we get another caution?
You know, I think if we get about halfway or 3/4 of the way through this stage, I can see a 2-tire stop. They are on lap 18 of 39, so just a tad shorter of a stage. Last one's 42 laps, so I could see us maybe get a 2-tire stop if we get a late stage caution. But right now, like you were saying, 4 tires is the call easily. We should see the shoes right here coming around to the line. Dusty's been picking that bottom, and Meso has been going to the top. And I like what INF has been doing. INF has been, on the last couple restarts, to be going to the high side and staying with Meso there. See Toby Welsh in the picture getting his lap back. He's came off pit road. He's going to tag up the rear of the field. We're set to restart this next time by. Hammer up inside the top 5 in that second lane, or second row, bottom lane. Drake, third row, third lane on the bottom. It comes to restart on view with Dr. Plater back under green flag conditions here in Bristol with 20 laps to go.
Mesa hanging tough on the outside. Dusty Stud hanging to the bottom side. Mesa trying to get the run off the top side as they complete another lap. Oh, and they make contact. Now Mesa going to drop in line behind Dusty Stud in the 68. Got to think Mesa probably not going to be happy with that deal as they had the, the outside lane. Oh,
Hammer.
INF Hardy to the outside fence.
Hammer made contact with INF and kind of put him up there. Really good hit by Hammer. Those two are not going to be happy with each other. Hammer had the bottom lane and pretty much just kind of sent it in there. Got into INF and put him in the outside wall.
Yeah, and I don't think INF's too happy about it. He's really beating that back door down as they go down the back straightaway. Down into 3 and 4 they go. LRS go to the inside of INF for the 4th spot as they come out of turn 4. 2 by 2. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th as they battle to the line.
Yeah, INF not happy whatsoever. He tried to make momentum of beating the back bumper off that 16 car, letting them know, hey, I didn't like that. I didn't appreciate that whatsoever. And it cost him the time. It cost him position on track. But he's hanging tough as these 3 cars battle back behind him.
Yeah, Alex, and Black Hammer has really set sail in that 16 away from the 66 of INF. I really think Black Hammer's got a fast car right now. He's definitely one to watch for the final run of this race, man. But you got to think, when we get the next stage restart, INF probably going to do what's been done to him, I would imagine.
Yeah, and that's the problem is Hammer's got a fast car without a doubt. We've seen him start moving through the field. I don't think that was just not the way to do it. I mean, we had an incident just like that in the Cup Series last night as on the last lap, HD, who has never seen the top 3 in the Cup Series, he never thought in his life that he'd see a top 3 finish in the UTLR Cup Series early on, and he kind of sent LRS into the corner on purpose. He did admit to it because he said, I'd never see 3rd place again this season, so I took the advantage of it while I was there. They evened everything out. They're fine. Everybody's good. I feel like that's just what happened with Black Hammer. He was just impatient, and it just got away from him.
Well, Alex, the top three in this series is real hard to come by. But the level of competition that's there, I have only seen the top three maybe once or twice this season, so I can understand the feeling. But at the same time, it's you've got to make because you got to make it right, and you got to make it. You can't just full send it on somebody. But Black Hammer has closed the gap to your leaders as they go down into the corner.
Yeah, and this time by will be 8 to go in the stage. So things heating up for this top three. Hammer looking to the inside of Meso. We 7 to go this time. The only problem is they need to figure it out because if not, Dusty is going to pull away.
Dusty needs this playoff point, man. He needs to win this stage in order to keep it close with the top two in points.
Meso up against the wall. Hammer doesn't think anything of it. He sent in just a little bit, but not enough.
Oh, he's giving him the bumper as they come out of turn two.
5 to go this time by in stage number 2. Dusty, Meso, and Hammer, top 3.
Yeah, Mesa kind of running that slider line down into 1 and 2, blocking the bottom entry and then sliding up to the top side, making Black Hammer having to check up. Now he rolls the bottom in this corner, down the back straightaway. The
Dusty.
caution has come out. That wasn't the stage in. The caution has come out, has it?
Caution is out.
Oh my.
And that will wrap it up for the stage. They will pace it around.
And
Unless, well, no, we're not going to pace it around. They're looking like they're going to try to get back underway. That is an admin decision
Dusty
by our
Studd
headquarters.
takes out the 7. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's an admin decision when it comes to right here at the end. If they're going to have enough laps to get back underway. If we would have ended under caution, which we've done before, then we would have not seen anybody come down pit road. So they're looking to try and get us back underway.
You saw what Dusty Studd did. He looked like he was going to go into the pits, and it sounds to me like the admins called that they were going to go green again soon. So he yanked it back up before he could get sucked into pit road. So quick thinking on the 68 machine. But now Mesa and Ducky with some fresh tires, they might be able to make a quick charge to the front on these fresh tires, man.
Yeah, and Kenny, we're going to have a 1-lap shootout for the stage.
Oh.
And Hammer's on the inside, Dusty's on the outside for this restart.
Okay, calling the dogs and put out the fire. We're fixing to have ourselves a heck of a stage finish.
Drake is on the inside, row number 2 with INF on the outside.
1-lap sprint to the end of the stage, Alex. Here we go. Green flag back in the air, and INF gets all squirrely on the start. Black Hammer to the bottom side. Dusty on the outside. Down the back straightaway for the final time in stage 2.
Dusty able to clear both of them coming off turn number 4. Dusty is going to win.
INF trying to get second at the line. It's going to be drag racing. INF steals second at the line.
Well, good little heater lap. INF gets second over Hammer.
Hammer lost second at the line. That was, I guess that's INF's way of saying, hey, remember me? Remember what you did to me earlier? Yeah, that's for you.
See, one of we got paid by WG to Bully in the chat. Is that Hammer Dog? That is a Black Hammer. So there you go, right there. Black Hammer 26. That is who drives that 16 car. As we get ready for the final stage here, Kenny, we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of cautions, and they kind of popped up out of nowhere, honestly.
I doubt we go green the whole way, and doubt that we see any green flag pit stops. Green flag is out. Final stage final stage of the night as Ducky did not go to pit road. Look at this, Alex.
He's got to have some kind of strategy. And also, who did pit, but because of how everybody cycled, HD now inside the top 5.
So here's the deal, Alex. Those guys that pitted, they pitted with 1 lap to go in the stage. So they've only got 1 lap on these tires and 1 lap of fuel burnt up. So in reality, this doesn't really change much for them.
No, it doesn't. And Ducky, I think, was one of the ones that actually did come into the pits.
Ducky and Mesa, and I believe Edge
And HD as well.
7 or the 36. So these guys came into pit road, and they took advantage of it as Ducky brushes the outside fence.
Now we see that 19 car up in the lead here for the first time tonight. Ducky at his hometown track. He lives maybe 5 minutes from the track here. He is out here showing you guys up. Whenever, I know Ducky how his mindset is. Whenever he enters a race, all he's thinking about is winning. He's like, I don't care what. And in his words, I'm going to use his word exact, I'm going out there, I'm whooping their ass. He would say that. So there is no losing for Ducky.
It's all or nothing with the 19, and he has got a rear view mirror full of the 7 as Mesa tags the outside wall off of turn 4.
A battle for third right now, heating up between the 16 and 38. Racing Edge back up there. He falls back, Hammer up to the 3rd spot. Dusty's again struggling, and here's the downfall with Dusty. He gets put in the mid-pack, and he struggles. That's what happens with him, is that he gets in that dirty air, and the dirty air does not do him kindly. He has to battle and make his way back up to the front, and it's not the easiest of challenges.
Well, Alex, the caution at the end of stage 2 really shuffled up the field, and we've got guys up front that we haven't really seen up front, like Ducky and, well, pretty much just Ducky now. Everybody else kind of faded away, but Ducky really taking advantage of his pit strategy that he had at the end of stage 2.
Now, and he's got a rear mirror full of Meso once again, trying to get back at him. Meso really shining tonight. I'm very impressed by the 7 car. Kind of a backlash. He comes from another league on Saturday nights, and he was kind of done dirty over there. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say what league, but he's kind of done dirty in this league, and a lot of drivers that race over here, race over there, and he just did not do a whole lot. He tried to perform to the best he could, but the drivers over there would not race him really with respect. But Meso doing Meso things. We see Ducky getting the wall, and here comes Meso for the lead. But Meso went out there and won the championship. Almost. So Meso now a champion in that league after some mishaps and misfortunes of others, and he comes out and wins it and said, you know what, I want to go to UTLR. I've seen these guys race. I like the guys. They show respect, and he's very excited to have the opportunity to race over here. And he's really shining tonight.
Ducky. I gotta say, Ducky's really playing defender really well right now. He held off a 3-car or a 3-wide attempt from Meso and Black Hammer as they were coming out of turn 4, and he really defended it well, able to hang on to the lead as it looks like the field is separating out. But now your top 3 have broken away. Dusty Stud, and it looks like, I believe that's Edge in the 36 car trying to charge back and catch your top 3.
Yeah, you got INF back there, and then I believe that's SP back behind INF. Like I said, Ducky's playing defender. I think he's letting off a little earlier in the corners, and that's allowing him to take charge of both lanes. He's covering both lanes. As you can see, he's running that middle groove. That allows Meso to not have the high side, but allows Ducky to have that inside advantage. I mean, he's cut down, block the inside lane, and it's allowing Hammer to not be able to work by him either.
Well, Ducky's a veteran in the UTLR series, man. He's ran trucks, he's ran Cup, and he's ran Xfinity. He's been through all 3 series. He knows a thing or two about a thing or two. And here he goes, defending again as Meso gets into the outside wall again down the front straightaway.
Yeah, and Hammer's trying to play nice, but Meso keeps on making contact with the wall. It's not helping his case. But the problem is that the second that Meso gets off the wall, he wants to react and bounce off the wall into Hammer, and Hammer's having to back off. Oh, and Meso
Whoa, and
sends Ducky.
Meso getting into Ducky's rear bumper hard,
Yeah,
and they won't get off of each other. Ducky getting into his right rear quarter panel. Black Hammer to the inside. Now Ducky's going to slam the door. He gets the crossover down into turns 1 and 2. Ducky to the inside. Meso on the outside. Ducky trying to take his lead back as they come down the back straightaway. They make contact off of 2. Now Ducky falls in line. Here comes Black Hammer to the inside for second. Black Hammer trying to take second away. Now here comes Dusty Stud, your 2-stage winner. Coming up, trying to get into the top 30 once again. As they go down into 1 and 2. Now Ducky looking to the inside of Black Hammer. Black Hammer brushes the wall as they come up to turn 4.
This just got intense. Ducky, he really tried making the pounce on Meso, telling him I didn't like that at all. Unacceptable on Meso's end. And yeah, we saw rivalry start up right there. This 19 car not happy with the 7. I know it. I know Ducky, and he is not happy, and he will get his revenge if needed.
It is open season. Mesa is the buck with a 10-point antler, and Ducky is the huntsman with the rifle. I guarantee you he is hunting that 7's rear bumper now.
Yeah, nonetheless, that 16 car now making a run for Meso for those top spots. He was the one that kind of, with a little bit of getting involved when he wasn't trying to get involved, but now here he is up in second place trying to go for the lead here. And Dusty puts Ducky in the wall. Ducky is not, oh my god. I know Ducky is pissed right now.
He can't be too happy with the way he's getting raced right now. His first race back, and
and
Black
Hammer
to the inside fence.
I don't know what happened to Hammer. Hammer looks like he just got loose off exit after burning his tires up, maybe.
And he sinks like a rock. Now Dusty Stud looking to the inside of Ducky for second as they go down into 1 and 2.
Yeah, we're at 35 to go this time by for our leaders.
5 to go this time by.
No, 35.
35 to go, sorry. I was about to say, wow, this has been a quick stage 3. And Alex, Dusty Stud, you can tell he's getting frustrated with not being able to get past the 39 and the 19. Really sending it in hard on Clater as they go into 1 and 2, or excuse me, into 3 and 4. Now down the front straightaway, trying to get to the inside of Clater, but Clater is going to hang tough on the outside. Dusty Stud hugs the inside lane as they go down into 3 and 4. Ducky pulling away. Meso coming into lap traffic as they go down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Kane, here's the big question is how does this lap traffic affect, because now you got to work around people. Who has the better advantage whenever it comes to getting around this lap traffic? If you ever so slightly
Alex,
get held up, it could be over.
Well, Alex, as long as it's not more than one car in front of you, you're fine. But if you see a gaggle of cars in front of you, that's when it gets hard to make it through lap traffic. It's easy to ask the single cars to move over because they're not battling for position. It's tough to ask the guys that are battling for position to move over because they don't want to give up their spot battling in front of the leaders.
Well, Ducky is able to get through the mayhem. Ducky gets loose off of 2. It's going to give the second place up to Clater now. Yeah, Ducky, after getting raced very hard, I know those tires are worn out.
Oh, man,
30 to go.
Race even harder. Dusty all over the rear bumper as they go down into the corner.
Yeah, Dusty giving that love tap to the 19 of Ducky.
Alex, look who's back in the mix. It's the 16 of Black Hammer making his way back into the top 5.
Speaking of top 5, SP. SP into the mix. He's actually running in that 5th position as Black Hammer's trying to battle him. Ducky's not going to give this one up easily.
Oh,
he's going to make this as hard as possible for the number 68 of Dusty.
And Dusty bounces off the 19's door again down into 1 and 2. Dusty Stud trying to take the third spot from Ducky. Now Ducky tries to get the crossover, but it's not going to stick. The car breaks loose.
Oh,
He's in the outside fences. We got two of them tangled up together. And Ducky to the inside wall.
and that one will probably be a caution this time by.
That was a hard lick. That was two cars. They didn't go around, Alex, but they were in the wall stuck together. So we'll have to see what the admins say.
It's appearing they gotta be talking it out, but it's appearing right now we are staying green. I'm not in agreement with that call, but God, so much is transpiring here this evening. It's the definition of Bristol. So much heat, so much aggressiveness taking place.
Well, I don't agree with how Dusty was getting on the back bumper of Ducky. I mean, he was being way too aggressive, in my opinion. These guys are on old tires. They don't need to be beating the hell out of each other like that. You got to be smart with your passes, and you got to be patient. That's the problem with some of these guys in the Cup Series. They don't have the patience. They just want to beat your back bumper off just so they can advance their position. But in reality, when they do that, it makes the situation worse for everybody else.
Well, and because of all this transpiring here in the third stage, you see top guys getting lapped now. You see Meso lapping Flash. He just lapped LRS. I mean, these guys that we were just talking about possibly trying to battle for the stage win or second and third place in stage 2. But because of the events that have transpired, now he's pinned a lap down.
And now Ducky's back out on the track. I guarantee you he had a lot of damage to fix on that 19 machine.
So 19 to go. We're under 20 laps to go here in Bristol. Meso out front. I gotta say though, Meso is a great driver, and he's actually been keeping his nose clean. He hasn't really done a whole lot tonight, and so I'm really impressed by his driving. He had a little issue at the first stage, but he's been clean ever since. Really been just being in the right spot at right time.
Well, and Alex, like you said, I can concur. I don't agree with that no caution call because now it's going to be a green flag stop race. We're going to have our first ever, I believe we're going to have our first ever round of green flag stops at Bristol because these guys have got to be on some old tires. Obviously, the fuel might not be an issue here because Bristol is so small and the tanks on these cars are so big that you can actually make it pretty far on time too with this race. But the tires, man, the tires are going to be, is what's going to be what makes people go into pit road.
Well, you say that. I have yet to see. We got Dusty and Lowbroke's point of view, and neither one of them. Actually, okay, we have Lowbroke's point of view. They're good on gas and probably tires. I mean, Lowbroke is at 37 on his lowest tire on that right front.
Yeah, but Alex, you got to think that's a guy running mid-pack versus a guy that's running out front. These guys up here are running way harder because they're, trying to run away from each other.
And you do have a point. I mean, it's going to be close. We see Meso, the leader, up in the wall.
Brushes the wall.
With 13 to go this time for that 7 machine.
Oh, and Mesa loosed off of the corner. We got one down hard into the inside wall on the front straightaway. I believe that was Cam Wallet.
7 car really loose right now. 12 to go this time.
And
he
that's
is
the
the leader,
problem
but
with
he
burning
is
up these
losing.
tires, Alex.
Yeah,
that's the problem with burning
is.
up these tires, man. It's real hard to control these cars at these short tracks. Intermediate tracks, it might be a little bit easier, but at a short track like Bristol, especially with a concrete surface, it's real hard to keep the tires gripped up when they're this worn out.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Mesa's held on for this long. Dusty in third. Clater is still in second in that 39 machine, so he's back there behind LRS.
And going back to Dusty, man, we've said it once, we'll say it again. Fuel strategy and strategy races in general are just not his best friend, man. The strategy came from those guys at the end of stage 2, and Dusty unfortunately missed out on that strategy opportunity, and Mesa able to capitalize on it. The last time he pitted was before the end of stage 2, so I mean, you got to think Mesa making a brave and bold choice to stay out on the last restart that we had that was at the beginning of the stage.
We're under 10 laps to go. This time by will be 6 laps to go. And Dusty's tire light is on. So what does that mean for Meso? Oh, and Dusty makes contact with a car on the outside. Now Hammer taking over the 3rd spot. Six to go for Meso.
Plater
5 to go.
Desperately trying to make a charge to reel in the 7 of Meso, but Meso has got about a straightaway advantage as they go down into 1 and 2 again.
And there's going to be a lot of unhappy drivers after this race, I can tell you that right now.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is the first time we've actually seen a green flag run despite
Meso
everything.
Getting into it with a lapper. That was our Denny he got into off of the corner.
3 to go this time for the 7 machine. He has been solid all night long, and he is trying to play spoiler here this evening. It'll be his first UTLR win.
Can those tires hold up though, Alex? He's really having to work the throttle. 3 laps to go, now coming to 2 laps to go. Cautions are off, so if anything happens, the yellow will not come out as we hit 2 to go.
And he don't have really anybody in front of him except for Drake in the 54. Other than that, it is clear straightaway for the 7 machine of Meso. Coming around, see the white flag this time by.
Meso taking the white flag, brought to you by the NASCAR Esports Group. Down the back straightaway. He's clean into 3. Coming out of turn number 4. How about a rookie winning at Bristol for the UTLR Xfinity Series?
What a race by the 7 machine. Meso getting it done. I know there's going to be, again, there's going to be some excitement because Meso just won. He comes off a Cup Series championship in another league, and he comes over here and he's now a UTLR league winner. So awesome job by the 7 machine.
You gotta feel sorry for Ducky though, man. You gotta feel sorry for him. He had a really good car at the beginning of the stage and just got used up. And it was not good. I do not agree with that, and I honestly, if it were me, I would be protesting that call by the admins on that one.
Yeah, most definitely. Rounding out the top 3 is Dr. Clater in 2nd and Dusty Stud in 3rd. Only 7 cars finished on the lead lap. So,
man, poor Dusty, just can't climb. He just can't get over that hump, man. He keeps fighting. He had a good car in stage 1 and 2, but that strategy stop at the end of stage 2 is what got him.
it was indeed. And so with that, we're going to we'll go and go get our drivers for our top 3, and we'll be right back with post-race interviews. Alrighty, we're back here with the post race interviews, and I'm standing here in Victory Lane with this number 7 machine. Who would have thought we would have saw this guy in Victory Lane? Meso, you have done it, my man. You are a UTLR league winner, coming off of a league championship in another league. So, how does it feel to come to Bristol and actually dominate this field? And actually, despite everything that went on, you're able to pull through and get it done.
It feels great, man, and especially here at my hometown, Bristol. It feels amazing. I'm lost of words. I'm going to be honest.
Well,
I don't
dude,
know
I
what to
mean,
say.
you're just in the right spot, right time. Most of the time, you had a little issue in the first stage, got into a couple people, but later on, it kind of just paid off. You're able to kind of work around the mayhem and chaos that ensued in stage three, and just came out the winner. I mean, you just came out of nowhere and pulled it off. And next thing we know, we thought tires might be a concern there. Were you concerned at the end of tires?
There was one moment I came off of four and I almost died, but besides that, not really. The tire light did come into two to go, but tires were not mainly a concern now.
Well, man, it has been awesome watching you prevail through the Project 27 and then getting into the 7 car these last few weeks. Only making a limited amount of starts this season, but uh, to be in the moment and to have this win wrapped up, like you said, at your hometown track, and it's a first league win for you, building that momentum. Uh, we're going to be able to see you back next week, or what's the plan there?
Definitely. I'm gonna try to race in every race I physically can the rest of the season. I want to thank the lap cars. They let me by mostly, race me clean, did not race me dirty at all. So respect to them. Glad there was no Ryan Newmans in the field.
Oh, trust me. There could have been if there wanted to be, but I'm glad that they were easy with you tonight and let you by. Always a pleasure to have that respect out on the track. Um, well, man, congrats on the win. The floor is open if you want to shout out to anybody. The floor is open to you.
God, shout out to you for giving me a chance in this league. Putting me in that Project 27 car and giving me a ride at Junior Motorsports. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, you know it. We are excited to have you. I know, despite some of the wrath that is probably going to ensue post race with some guys, but I know there's going to be a lot of excitement around you getting the win. So go out there and celebrate and have fun.
I know there's someone who's going to be mad at me, I bet, but it's Bristol,
Hey,
baby.
I like it. It's Bristol, baby. Well, congrats on the win, man. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
See ya.
All right, Kenny, I'm going to hand it off to you for second and third place down there on pit road.
Alex, down here in the number 39 pit box with Dr. Clater. Clater, dude, you had a great run at the end of the race. Kind of didn't see much of you at the beginning. You started towards the back. You made your way up towards the front, man. Just take us through, that second stage where you were really able to capitalize on some top 3 positions.
Yeah, we unfortunately had an awful qualifying effort. I think we started eighth. Just trying to make my way up there in stage one. I think I probably finished like sixth in stage one. Traffic was kind of an issue in stage one. I liked running that out the outside, and I just couldn't pass people in that stage one. But stage two, kind of the same thing. I think I may have gotten to like fourth in stage two, and then stage three, it was definitely chaotic. It was a really fun green flag run at the end there. I enjoyed it. Tires weren't really like awful at all. I think when I came across the line, they're probably like 30%. So I was just steadily working my way up through the field. I know me and Dusty had a really good battle for like 3 laps for second place there. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I was really just cruising along that outside lane, and I just ran out of time. And Meso ran a perfect race, good win. Yeah, we just ran out of time, but really just a perfect race.
Yeah, Clater, you really were able to find your footing in the third stage, and you made a charge up to the top 3, and you were able to secure second. What kind of momentum does this give you going into the next race before the final race of the season? I believe at Talladega for double points, I believe.
Oh yeah, it definitely gives us a lot of momentum going into Dega. Dega's a really good track for me, super speedways in general. But yeah, just getting as much points as we possibly can. I'm not playoff eligible, but it does feel nice to get as much as I can. But I think my average finish is really good in all the races I've actually completed. So I'm just trying to keep that streak going of like top 5 finishes, and that's the most we can do without being, playoff eligible.
Well, Clater, you had a great run. Obviously, a lot of things to look forward to next season when you make your full-time run for the championship. So congrats on your second place tonight. Alex, we're going to take a walk down to the number 68 pit. That is Dusty Stud. Dusty, dude, man, I feel bad for you. You won stage 1 and 2. You got those needed playoff points. I believe that will tie you in playoff points for second right now. However, that elusive win still showing pretty hard to catch right now.
Uh, yeah, that's all I got, pretty much.
Well, Dusty, you and strategy races just haven't really lined up in sync this season, and we saw it at the end of stage 2. It looked like you were thinking about going down to pit road, but I don't know. Did you second guess yourself? Did you think that you were, racing for the stage, or did you? I mean, what was the mentality on not going down pit road at the end of stage 2 when we had that last one lap restart?
Stage points, pretty much. I'm okay with. I could. I'll take getting these stage wins all day if I don't get the win. Sweeping the stages better than not getting any stage wins and losing. So it is what it is.
Well, Dusty, you had a great run. I mean, this gives you a lot of momentum for next week, getting the stage sweep and a top 3 finish. So, I mean, what's the game plan now? Because you're the only guy that I've ever seen lead the points with no wins under his belt, but you're just so consistently finishing up front. You're leading the points. So, does this put any pressure on you to get that first win, or do you think you're going good with how you're doing right now?
I mean, the win will come when it comes. I'll try to get the win, but this game hates me for some reason. I guess I don't know, but yeah, if I can keep winning stage points or getting stages, I'll be fine. And then just got to smarten up during playoffs and actually try to win a race.
All right, well, Dusty, congrats on a top 3 finish. I'm going to turn it back over to the man in charge, Alex. Sending it back up to you after we talked, as soon as we finish wrapping up everything on pit road.
Yeah, man. So what an action-packed night from the top 3 here. They duked it out. They had their fair share of it. And we saw a whole lot of action from all the drivers on track. We saw tempers flare. We saw great battles, great racing early on. And man, I just can't explain it more better than how Mesa put it. It's Bristol, baby. Tempers are going to flare, and we had the short track challenge happen, and we still have a lot of racing left before the playoffs. Hopefully, this is probably the most aggressive race all season long from these Xfinity guys. So shout out to them for doing very well, like we talked about in the pre-race. But it's going to be quite a show going into next week. So with that, going into next week, we do have the Xfinity Series, like I said, at the Charlotte Roval, where they start their road course stretch, coming off of the heat of the moment of Bristol, going to the Charlotte Roval and then the Homestead Roval in back-to-back weeks. And then this is pretty much it for UTR this week. Of course, we do have the podcast on postponement, so there is no podcast due to the NASCAR Truck Series being on with the NASCAR season in play. So tune in next Monday night, yes, Monday night, for our F2 series that is in now week 2 at, I believe, let me double check schedule here. Yeah, Saudi Arabia. So it's going to be awesome for those guys. I can't wait to see those guys on track. It was an awesome show last week at Bahrain. So then we'll move on into the trucks next week, where they see the season finale for the regular season at Talladega. Double points on the line. Who makes it in the playoffs and who does not. So tune in next week. We love y'all guys. Be safe out there, and thank you to everybody